What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got another new episode for you, episode 65. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing better than you right now, Rich. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a shit show right now. I got symptoms of everything, but nobody knows what it is. So I'm waiting for my test results. We spoke about it a little bit off camera, off my air. You know, maybe I got the mutant gene, so I could be patient zero. I can get my mutant powers. Hopefully teleportation. If not, I'll settle for Wolverine's powers or Cyclops. No, maybe Gambit. I like that. Just touch stuff and blow it up.
Yep, I like that.
Just get this wave started early of mutants versus humans. So let's get right into it, man. We had week 12 of NFL. We had the Thanksgiving games. How was your Thanksgiving, by the way?
It was good, Rich. How about you?
Oh, it was good. I spent some time with the family, ate, relaxed. Enjoyed the games. Then just really. You get lost in the moment, not really worried about much, not really anything heavy weight on your mind. You just enjoying the moment, having fun, cracking jokes, stuff like that. So it was good, break from everything.
That's good.
And how was yours?
It was good, man. Yeah, just kind of the same thing, just relaxed. It's my parents' house. My brother fried up the turkey, almost started a house fire.
Oh, yeah.
Overflowed the oil. Went a little bigger on the fried turkey this year.
Mm-hmm.
Almost overdid it there. Luckily, he was quick on the turning off the propane. He was prepared. But yeah, everything came out good. We had like I told you before, we had way too much food as usual. But yeah, then Friday, Black Friday is the putting up the tree day. So we rolled right out of Thanksgiving into Christmas,
yeah.
Christmas movies and Christmas tunes and trees and ornaments and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I did that when I came back on Friday too. And then let the tree drop. You guys get the real tree? The real tree or the
real tree? Yeah.
How big you guys get your tree?
Oh man, this year we went a little bigger than we normally do. It's probably about 10 or 11 feet maybe.
Oh man, I wish I could get it that big.
Yeah, we got bigger ceilings in the living room, but where we kind of tuck it up against, it starts to taper down. So had to cut a little bit off the top to fit it in there.
Yeah, my ceilings aren't that high. I got it like 6 or 7 because my ceiling's like 8. So otherwise, my tree would be folded into the ceiling.
So you don't need a ladder to put the star on the top, is what you're telling me?
Nah, I just do the quick turnaround. Just put that bad boy right up there.
Oh yeah. And
then so we had these Thanksgiving games. I hope you made out like a bandit from this over and under from this Lions and Bears game.
Well, I told you to hammer the under on that Lions game. We saw under landed at 41.5, and this game ended well under that. So kind of Detroit got off to a little bit of a hot start, and then it's kind of a punting fest after that. Unfortunately, Deandre Swift went out early. He's been a kind of a bright spot for Detroit this year.
Yeah, I feel like that was the change of the game.
It did.
After,
it did.
He went down.
It did. Jamal Williams is fine, but Swift out of the backfield is dynamic, running the ball and catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it totally changed their game plan, and like I said, Williams still went for about 85 yards on the ground, but this wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And then the Bears brought it down and at the end there and were able to hold off and kick a field goal to win the game. So those of you on Detroit plus 3.5, not naming any names here, but when they got that first down and were able to run out the clock and win it with a field goal, it was it was a nice time.
Yeah, but it's kind of what we expected. Both two struggling teams.
Yep.
They're pretty much playing for the draft right now. So.
Yeah, and fortunately for you, the Giants have that Chicago pick right now.
Yeah, and then the freaking Giants won which is another story. How do you win 17? So 7-13. How did you win that?
Well, you won because Jalen Reagor dropped 2 touchdowns at the end of the game, and it just seemed like, I watched a little bit of this game, and I felt like Hurts was just, I don't know, he just wasn't throwing the ball well. Not that he's a great passer, but I felt like there were opportunities for him to get out in the open field and run, and he didn't do it. So I don't know. He started doing it later in the game, but I felt like it was a little too late, and the Giants D really bottled up that passing game. I think he only threw for like 110 yards or something.
Yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, they don't really have a lot of weapons, so maybe he doesn't have a lot of trust in the receivers. This is really like his first full year being, the situation he was going through last year.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and it kind of, I kind of felt bad for him at the end. And not that they deserved to win that game because they didn't play that well, but like I said, Reagor dropping the first touchdown that hit off his helmet, and then on fourth down there, basically hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it.
Yeah, because it wasn't it's like one of those things when it's not on you.
Yeah.
It's on. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's out of his control.
Nope. Yeah, and it was just a sloppy game all around. I mean, he had three INTs, one right there at the end of the half where they should have had at least 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants were the Giants. I mean, they didn't really do anything offensively either.
Yeah, they just held on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure if you told the Eagles the Giants only scored 13 points, that they would think they would win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, like I said, I don't think the Eagles are a great team, but they've been, able to score some points and really beat the bad teams that they've played against. But that wasn't the case on Sunday.
Oh yeah. I mean, we still got a lot of conference games left, so
yep,
it's pretty much. I think every game's going to count for everybody. So
yeah, no, I mean, Washington seems to be playing well. Dallas is a little bit of an enigma. We'll see how they do tonight, but it's just like that division just always seems like it's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I don't think anybody's won back-to-back since like the 90s or something like. It's like some crazy stat like that.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it just seems like anyone could take this division. Washington's won 3 in a row. Dallas has lost 3 in a row. Although Dallas is getting healthy, so hopefully, maybe we'll see a difference in the way they play. But yeah, I think it's all wide open. And if you're the Giants, you want the draft pick, but if you have a chance to take a run at this division, why not?
Yeah, so we can get bounced out the first round by the Bucks.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before on here, but at some point you got to build some sort of winning culture. And I don't care if your team is terrible. If you're being a Jets fan for as long as I've been a Jets fan, the 2009, 2010 teams really brought people back to the Jets, and they were able to sign free agents. When you look at them now, they can't sign anybody unless they throw boatloads of money at them, because no one wants to go play for a 2-14, 2-15 team.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
so even if you can show improvements, and I know you want the pick, but showing that you can build a winning culture, and that there's good morale on the team, and you get guys say, hey, look, come play in New York, it's a great city. Team is getting somewhere. I think you have to do it. Although I think Joe Judge is probably gone at the end of the season, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I go both. I tend to go back and forth on this. Watching the Jets win on Sunday was I'm happy that they won, but at the same time, it's they're not going to go anywhere.
But yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but just not this year. Maybe next year.
Yeah, but then the problem is, Rich, you just keep kicking the can down, because then next year, you get off to an 0-5 start, and you're like, screw it, we'll just do it next year. So it's
no, but I mean, this year we got two. So we got 2 picks in the top 10. Yeah. So instead of being 4-5, we'll be 6-7 behind you guys.
Yeah, now the Jets are 4-5.
And I mean, we had the opportunity to get one of the best defensive players in the draft, arguably. It was between the defensive end from Oregon or the safety from the big ass safety from Notre Dame. It's 6'4", 220, 230, something like that. Or worst case, get him and get the safety and get the second or third best pass rusher, or just get two pass rushers, which is something we need. But like I said, man, I understand where you're coming from, but just not this year. Just not. We can go all in next year, man.
So how do you feel about Saquon? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do there?
I don't know. I think they're limited him. I think they'll give him an offer. But I don't think it'll be what what he was expecting based off of like if he would have got re-signed when McCaffrey got his deal, he would have got a bigger deal compared to what he's going to get now due to the injuries. I mean, he's haven't been able to stay healthy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him like a 1-year deal. Maybe they franchise tagged him, or
I don't see that franchise. I could see him like giving him like a either like a 2-10 or something, 2-12, something like that.
Yeah, one of those like makeup deals, like the in-betweeners.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't also be surprised if they traded him.
I just don't know what his value is right now. I mean, he's hurt a lot. You know, even when he's out there, like there's spurts where he looks good, but you know, I feel like he hasn't put a whole game together in a long time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, he hasn't had the best offensive line. He hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when the offensive line was good, he had about 2,000 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he can see that form again. But I mean, you never know how they feel about him based off his those injuries. And then we had the Bills beat the Saints for the other Thanksgiving game. Really not too much to cover there. It was pretty much a blowout.
Yeah.
Then the Raiders sneak up on the Cowboys. I felt like that was a trap game for them, and the Raiders were going to win.
Yeah, it was a bit of a trap game. Still not quite sure what the Raiders are at this point. They seem to go up and down a little bit. But, yeah, Dallas's defense got exposed a little bit. And, you know, I think they're hurting, missing CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper as well.
Yeah. I mean, they still put up 30 points, but.
Yeah.
I think this is the downfall of Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, it seems like he's getting used less and less per game. And we're seeing more of Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I just feel like Tony Pollard's a little more dynamic. Like, you know, he catches the ball in the backfield. Saw a couple of trick plays with him. I feel like Zeke is really like one-dimensional. You know, he can really pound it. He's fast, but he's not. He's okay at catching the ball, but he's not someone you're gonna, you know, build passing plays for, right? Like, whereas Pollard, I feel like they try to get him out into open space and let him make some moves.
Yeah, and he returns kicks, so.
Yeah.
And then after the Thanksgiving games, you know, we had the Titans and the Pats. The Pats did what they needed to do, took care of the Titans. You know, even though the Titans had all those injuries, I'm interested to see the Pats next week against the Bills.
Yeah. So what's your take on that? I'm, you know, the people around here are obviously like, you know, we're going to the Super Bowl now, but who have they beaten that was, you know, impressive coming into the game? I mean, the Falcons are a disaster. The Browns were a bit of a mess without Nick Chubb, and the Titans are barely the Titans right now. You know, missing their 3 best offensive players. They got defensive players missing all over the place. I know they're a well-coached team with Rabel, but they didn't look the same. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this is a big, and I've been, you know, I'm not saying that the Pats are bad, because they're not. They're well coached. Mac Jones does enough to win games, and the defense is obviously good. But you know, I'm interested to see how they do against Brian Daboll and his offense up there in Buffalo on a game that, you know, Buffalo needs to have.
Yeah, but I also feel like this is the big brother versus little brother matchup.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I mean, the Pats have been the big brother for years. Is the little brother able to overcome that? I mean, and like you said, they're well coached. Number 1 defense in the league. I mean, it's not. I mean, they beat who they're supposed to beat. They take care of business. I don't want to say, Mac Jones is like, even if you compare it to, you know, Jimmy G, he's not going to wow you, but you know, he's going to do what needs to be done in order to help you win the game.
Exactly.
So, and then you look at the other teams in the AFC. I mean, the only other team that you could say that it's not a guaranteed win for them is, you know, if they play the Chiefs, the Ravens. But I feel like a lot of those other teams, coaching-wise, Bill's going to outcoach them.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, right? You got probably 3 really well-coached teams in the AFC: Harbaugh, Reed, and Belichick. And I don't know what to think about Frank Reich. I mean, I feel like he gets his team to play well for 3 quarters, and then they fall apart in the 4th. That may be a quarterback thing.
Yeah, I think it's a quarterback.
I think ultimately it'll come down to one of those 3 teams. And Pittsburgh's well coached. I mean, Tomlin's a great coach, but he's he just doesn't have the firepower this year.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't have the options. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the other teams in the AFC, there's not really many teams they got to go through.
No.
I mean,
do you trust the Bengals? I don't trust the Bengals.
I mean, I don't. But don't get me wrong. They're a young team.
Yeah, they are.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won one playoff game and then got bounced in the other one because the lack of experience. But
yep.
When you go against people that have been there for so long and they treat every week like a playoff. I mean, I think it's gonna translate when playoffs come. So
yeah. Yep.
Then we had the Browns. Well, we had the Jets. They won. They beat the Texans, but I don't know how they won, and they still kept a 4-5 matchup. Because freaking Seattle blew it against Washington.
They leapfrogged Seattle,
which was ridiculous. But hey, it was a great move for you guys to trade Jamal Adams to Seattle, being what is gonna net you.
Exactly. And I think even at the time when they traded Jamal Adams, like I wasn't thrilled just because I hate when they give up on picks that early, but what they netted back from that, a 21st pick or whatever, and then they're gonna net, probably in all likelihood a top 10 pick here. It's well worth it, and Adams is kind of doing what he did in New York and Seattle right now. So it's not the best coverage guy, he's great at the line of scrimmage, but that's what you got linebackers for, right? So
yeah, I'm thinking maybe they need to move him to linebacker or something. I feel like Seattle's I don't want to say they're done, but I feel like it's time for them to start rethinking to rebuild that team.
There's going to be a breakup here, I think, in the offseason. You kind of heard rumblings of it last year, but either Wilson's going to be gone or Pete Carroll's going to go, is my thought. It's just, it's kind of run its course there, and I don't know what's, maybe Wilson came back too early from the injury, but he didn't look right. I mean, how does DK Metcalf only get one catch? Like, even Lockett had 3 catches. Granted, most of the yardage came on one catch, but it's like, what's going on here? So I'd say this is the end for one of them, and my guess is probably Pete Carroll's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Pete too, just because Russell's cap hit. I mean, I think he's owed like $37 million next year. So
yeah,
that's going to be hard to move, especially for teams that will have that space open for him via a trade. So
yeah.
Then we had the Browns and the Ravens. Ravens struggle, but still pull it through. And Browns struggle. I think the Browns need to do something too, man. Maybe Pete Carroll goes there. Or maybe they I don't know, maybe they trade quarterbacks. Maybe they send Russell there.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like I struggle to get a read on Baker. I don't know what he is. And I don't know if it's, he's got like torn labrums and, he's a disaster, health-wise right now. So is that like, because I felt like last year he was, he's not going to be like Tom Brady, right? But he can have good games and he can manage the game well. But this year he just looks like a little bit of a mess, and I'm not sure, what's going on there. Because they looked pretty good earlier in the year, but I don't know if it's just Nick Chubb being in and out of the lineup, and then Kareem Hunt going down. That breaking up the chunt kind of hurt them for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how as hopefully he gets a little bit healthier towards the end of the year here. But that defense, I think, is still pretty good. I mean, they're still holding people down, minus the Patriots. But
yeah, but that's the thing. You can hold teams down, but
still gotta score.
Yeah, you gotta score. Like you can't beat like the Eagles and hold the team down 13 points, but your offense only scores 7.
Right.
But I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. So I think there's gonna be a lot of shifting going on this offseason too. So
yeah, it could be.
Then we had the Rams and the Packers, which was the game of the week. Looks like the Packers bullied the Rams. They took a page out of San Francisco's book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about the Rams, man. They haven't been the same since they had a dominant running back.
Yeah, I think they, like you said, they just got kind of bullied around. I mean, their offensive line is really struggling right now. I mean, Stafford is getting crushed in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get a run game going, and maybe that's part of the reason why Stafford's getting killed right now. But yeah, it's been a bit of a disaster for them recently.
Mm-hmm. Then some of those I think we're going to need to see more out of Von Miller.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done much since getting there. We did have an OBJ sighting. I think he had a touchdown. So I know he's excited about that. But, yeah, I think they're going to have to establish some kind of run game and maybe go back to that old play action, offense they were running a lot with what's his name, the other quarterback.
Goff.
Yeah. Just to kind of reset things, but help out their defense. It seems like their defense is on the field way too long now, especially these past 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, after seeing them getting bullied like that, I don't think they're. I can't see them beating the Bucs or the Packers in the playoffs. So
I struggle to see that as well.
Then we got next week in the NFL. I mean, we spoke a little about today. Saints and the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys should win this game. Saints got a lot of people out. Kamara's out again. I mean, the Cowboys need to put something together. Otherwise, Washington and the Giants and the Eagles are right behind them. So you can't go from the preseason favorite to win your division and possibly get to the Super Bowl to not even winning the division.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they gotta have this game tonight. With no, like you said, no Kamara, Taysom Hill starting. They just got crushed by the Bills on Thursday night. Like they need to have this one.
Oh yeah, hot take just popped in my head. Pete Carroll goes to the Cowboys. All right, next topic.
Probably wouldn't be a bad landing spot for him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect fit. I mean, he's used to the big city, bright lights. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him there. I think, and I felt like the Cowboys haven't had a coach that can hold his own, since Jimmy back in the day. So,
yeah.
Then we got the Giants and the Dolphins. Come on, Dolphins. Then we got another. I don't know what kind of game this is. I can't root for anybody again. The Eagles and the Jets. I mean, we need the Jets to win, but then we also need the Eagles to win because
Eagles are they're sitting there at 7, right?
No, I think they're like
they
at
have 8.
Yeah, they're like 8. They're like at 8-10, 8-10, and like 12 or something like that. They got like 3 picks. So I don't know. Maybe this is one of those games we get a draw. I wouldn't mind a draw in this game. How are you guys feeling about your chances in that game?
I think it's a coin flip. If the Jets have the worst pass defense in the league. The problem is I don't think Hurts throws the ball that well, so I'm not sure what the outcome of that would be. But I do think Philly's got the better team, and I don't know what Zach Wilson we're gonna get on Sunday. So he makes some nice passes, and then he makes some decisions where you're like, what the hell is that guy thinking? But yeah, I think the Eagles probably take it down by a field goal or so is my guess.
Yeah, like I said, I can't pick a side on this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see how it all plays out, but definitely don't want the Eagles to win.
It's kind of a lose-lose for you, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if I had to pick a side, I'm definitely gonna root for the Jets.
All right. I'm not, but that's okay.
We're both rooting for the other team. Then we got the Bengals and the Chargers. That should be a good game. 2 young quarterbacks going at it.
Yeah.
Chargers started off hot. They're struggling. I think they're going to struggle in this one too because the Bengals run the ball and the Chargers are terrible at front defense. So,
but Joe Mixon's been a beast this year. He scored in I think 8 straight games or something like that. Mm-hmm. He's been healthy, which he hasn't been the first few years of his career. So it's good to see a healthy Joe Mixon out there. He's a beast running the ball.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's like just a steadily good runner. Kind of like the Sean Alexander or like Corey Dillon or just like one of those, not really a big name guy, but just gets the job done. And then you turn around, you're like, he's got over 1,000 yards, over 10 touchdowns. You're like, what?
Oh yeah, no, he's legit. That's for sure.
Then we got the game of the week, the Pats and the Bills. Kind of talked about it already. What was your take on it? How was you feeling about it?
I don't know, man. I think this is another field goal game. I felt like last year was kind of the passing of the torch, right? I mean, Bills came into New England and put a beat down on the Patriots, but you're looking a year later, and Bill's got that defense revamped, a quarterback that can, handle himself, make throws he needs to throw. I don't know. I still lean towards the Bills here. They've had, some extra time for preparation, having the Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Bills by a field goal is my take here.
I think the Patriots win this one, but lose the next one to the Bills. I think they split.
Okay.
Like I said, man, I don't know. This is the big brother versus little brother. This big brother's been winning the division for years. Kind of like a psychological thing. Like, back in the day when Patriots coming to town, people just knew it was going to be an automatic win. Like, do some of these Bills players feel like that? I doubt that some of them do. But I mean, if the Pats get up early, does that start creeping into people's heads? Like, oh, not again. Back then, it's like Tom Brady. It's like Tom Brady all over again. We're gonna lose. But but I mean, you never know. But it's definitely gonna be a great game to see. How the coaches draw it up, and then how they match up offensively and defensively. But the Bills' defense has been struggling too. I think they're giving up like 30 points a game or something like that.
Yeah. I hear you. I just think that I just don't think that some of the Patriots have enough firepower. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like it's not about firepower. They just outplan you, and all of a sudden, like everybody's just getting a slice. Like there's just slowly cutting at your legs.
But like you said, right? They still have to score.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can get the best defense in the world out there, but I just don't think you're going to beat them 13-10.
Oh no, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a higher scoring game than that. So, as I said, we're going to have to wait and see who can get out early. If that Pats defense can put up some points, it's going to be a great game this Sunday.
It's Monday night game.
Oh, Monday night game. Oh yeah. Then we had your boy AB get suspended with the fake COVID card. So.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound like he's now vaccinated, but man, the guy is just something else.
Yeah, I don't understand. But I mean, he's had issues before, so.
Yeah, that's why it's like not surprising, but at the same time, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, this is not like high school or like, this is like you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, look at Aaron Rodgers on the other hand, so. Everybody's trying to beat the system, so the system catches up.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, and then on to the NBA. We had the Suns. They beat the Warriors, so they're now the best team in the NBA, even though they're at the same schedule. How are you feeling about the Suns, man?
Yeah, man, they look like the real deal. I mean, 18 in a row. They knocked off the Warriors. They look good. I mean, and it's not like I feel like it's not Booker taking over and dominating. I think it's it's pretty spread across the board. Pretty even scoring and ball distribution. They're just playing really, really good team basketball right now, and their defense is better than I had thought that they were. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of games. I mean, Booker's out for a few games with a sore hamstring, so we'll see what they're made of. But yeah, they look great, man. They look poised to head back to the finals again this year.
Oh yeah, that might be the Western Conference matchup we're going to see, but it's going to be interesting to see when the Warriors have those pieces come back. But I think they play each other again in like a few days.
Yeah, right.
So it's going to be interesting to see if the Warriors can bounce back from that. I mean, Steph didn't have the greatest shooting night. He was like 4 for 21.
Yeah, I think it was his worst shooting percentage while shooting 20 shots in his career.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure he's going to adjust to that. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can shut him down again. But he's going to come out with a vengeance. That's what he does. He takes it personal. He doesn't talk about it, but when that ball goes in that hoop, you hear the announcer say "bang" like 85 times.
Oh yeah.
You feel like he got shot up like Denzel from Training Day. When you had the Knicks, they moved Kemba out of rotation, period. So didn't really see that coming, but not surprised because Thibodeau is one of those coaches that doesn't play. If you're not playing hard, he's not going to play. He doesn't care about your stature, who you are. As long as you come to play, that's what really matters to him. But I think it's good. It gives the young players some playing time. I felt like it was kind of bundled up, with like Quickly and some of those other guys out. Yeah, we needed to see them play. So we really got to evaluate some of the young talent on the team going forward because Derrick Rose is not going to be here forever. He's like 34, 35, something like that. So, I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
we're going to have to see how these other guards that we drafted as well play. So,
Yeah, for sure. It's probably the right move. I mean, I heard some rumblings of a potential Kemba for John Wall trade. But, yeah, I think, his unfortunately, watching the last couple of years in Boston and his knees, I just don't think that knee's got much time left in it. He put him on minute restrictions and whatnot, and it just doesn't seem like he can get into a flow, and then he's hurt. And so it's unfortunate because he's a very likable player, plays the game the right way. He just doesn't have it, man.
Yeah. And then he's also a little undersized. So
he is. Yeah, he is.
So, I mean, I can see why they moved him out, but maybe it becomes a trade piece for them. Let's pick up somebody. I feel like we got enough scoring. We just got to lock down defensively. They're not a close game. So,
yep.
We got your boy Michael Porter Jr., another back surgery. He's probably out for the season. You think they're regretting that, giving him that money?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we knew it right away, right? Like, what are they doing? And I get it. The guy's talented, showed a lot of promise last year in the playoffs. But, just that back, just guaranteed money like that, it's just concerning. And, you're seeing it now, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, they still might have made out because it wasn't really like a max.
Yeah. And maybe in the back end of the contract, it's a steal. But unfortunately, year one is a swing and a miss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like year 3 for him, right?
No, I'm saying year one of the contract.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, I don't know if it kicks in next year or if it's this year. It's one of those, that kicks in at the end of this year.
Yeah, or maybe it kicks in next year. That's why he's having it now.
Yeah.
To not mess up the money. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, another person with some injuries, your boy Zion.
Yeah.
It don't look like he wants to stay healthy, man.
It's really unfortunate, because he's just so when he's on the court, he's so electric and he's so talented that he just can't, he's got feet issues. Obviously, carrying that weight around is a lot for a guy who's super athletic like that. So hopefully he can, hopefully something kicks in and he can figure out, how he can stay healthy and be in the best shape because he's awesome to watch.
Oh yeah, but like we talked about it, maybe this is part of a game plan, man, for him to make his exit strategy.
Maybe, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think these guys typically, guys like Zion, they want to be out there. Even if they're on a shitty team, they want to play. They want to show what they can do. They want to be a star.
Yeah, but maybe he's taking a book out of what he's seen happen with Anthony Davis and some other players. So
yeah, but Anthony Davis, he proved it down there for 5 years. It wasn't like he was in and out of the lineup the last couple of years, but he was awesome to start his career. So and Zion's been great, but he just hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. The Zion sweepstakes beginning in a few years. So
coming to New York, the billboard's already up in Times Square.
Yeah, they got him and RJ on the billboard going back to back like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
So
they got the two of them in Duke jerseys and they fade into the New York Knicks jerseys.
Yeah, they got them on the half and half.
How did LeBron already clear COVID protocol?
Well, because I mean, he's pretty much haven't been playing ever. So
it sounds like he might have had a false positive because he's had 8 negative tests since he tested positive. Yeah,
as I said, and he hasn't been playing in a few games. So
well, he played in Boston, and then he sat against New York,
and
then he hit the old COVID.
Yeah, and I think it's what they give him 7 days.
No, he's probably he can play tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. Maybe they feel like the ratings are down and we need LeBron playing. So
yeah.
Because I don't know if LA is going to get out of that mid range in the West. So.
Yep. Yeah, they're kind of sitting right in the middle there.
And then on to NCAA football. Not too much here. I mean, we got some of the conference championship games happening this weekend. Finally going to see the Alabama and Georgia game. Alabama wins. Just brings more debate of these teams that have 1 or 2 losses still making the college playoffs. But because they're in a big division, their strength of schedules are way more. And then if Georgia wins, then I mean, there's no more Alabama. So that's gonna be another.
Yeah, if Georgia wins, Alabama's probably out. But I think even if Alabama beats Georgia,
I think Georgia still stays in there.
Georgia's still in.
Yeah, I think they dropped to like 4.
Going anywhere? Yeah, maybe they might drop. They could drop to 2, right?
2, yeah.
My guess is they're not going to pit Alabama and Georgia together in the first round.
Yeah, because they probably want to see. It just be not good for ratings.
No, exactly.
Then we had your boy Brian Kelly. He's off to LSU. People were excited about that.
Kind of a crazy couple of days there in college football. You don't really see coaches changing jobs like that, like going from one, Power 5 team to another. But yeah, you had Lincoln Riley.
USC.
Jump from Oklahoma to USC, which is a big get for USC. And then Brian Kelly going down to LSU.
But they kind of have to now because of the early commitments, and like pretty much they're gone. Like once Lincoln Riley's already down there at USC, Brian Kelly's already down there at LSU. They're already meeting with kids for this upcoming year, next year. I mean, you can't. There's really not a lot of time to waste. Like when these coaches change ships like that. So, but
and in Brian Kelly's case, he's already got LSU's already they got the recruits that are going to LSU no matter who's the coach. So, but I know that Lincoln Riley, he could potentially pull that quarterback. I think is going to probably commit to USC is my guess. He had like the number 1 quarterback prospect in the country coming from California to go to Oklahoma.
He decommitted, and then I think it's gonna get. I think offensively he's gonna get a lot of players. But my main issue or question is going to be on the defensive side, because I mean a lot of those defensive players really don't stay in California.
Yeah, and they've had some real issues on the offensive line because they've had talented offensive players. It's just the lines have been bad and their defense has been horrific.
And that's kind of been his issue in Oklahoma. Great offense, but defense can't stop a nosebleed. So we'll be interested to see how he pans out on that defensive side, or maybe he gets a defensive coordinator that's attractive that people want to come play for. So
I don't. I mean, they're paying him a bunch of money, so it would make sense that you want to bolster that defense.
Oh yeah, because if they get any drop of what USC used to be when they had Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart down there, it's going to get crazy. Yeah. College basketball. Women's not really too much to cover. I mean, your girl Paige, she signs an NLI with Gatorade and StockX. I mean, I wish they gave us the numbers for these. This is crazy.
I do wonder what they're making.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
those college parties got to be pretty fun these days.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
These athletes get money on the books, so they can they don't have to hide it anymore.
Oh yeah, they can basically fund the party now.
Yeah,
openly.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of these players, they'll probably do the smart thing, and not like blow it out. I feel like it's a different generation. They're more about saving and being conscious about certain stuff compared to like when we were growing up. If we got a NLI for like $500,000 a year, our freshman year, it'd be over.
It'd be over. We wouldn't have made it out of freshman year.
No, we would have moved everybody onto like into Puffinghousing. Everybody would have had a car.
There would not have been a lot of school going on, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. And it'd just be party and wings all day.
Oh yeah.
Then on the men's side, Gonzaga, they lost to Duke. Then Duke turns around, becomes number 1, loses the next day to Ohio State. Steve cannot hold on to the top ranking at all. So
yeah, I feel like this happened a couple years ago too. Like, it was like a cascade of just number 1 teams, losing, once they got in that spot. It's early. I'm not,
Yeah.
overly concerned about Gonzaga or Duke. Duke coming off a big win against Gonzaga. Ohio State, always, a tough team for them to play, it seems like. Ohio State, I think in that game, Ohio State, Duke was favored, but I think it was by less than 3 points. So obviously, Ohio State has a pretty good team there.
Yeah, they came back and won too. They were down.
They did. They were down. Yeah. So yeah, it's still early season stuff shaking out. I do like these big games early in the season. Though I know Mark Few had mentioned that this was a change that they had made a couple years ago, getting these bigger names on the schedule because they didn't want to be the team that got to the tournament and then was like, oh crap, now we got to play one of these Power 5 schools and
that we never seen before. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think it also helps. Like, it doesn't hurt them compared to like college football.
No.
Like, if you get a few losses, you can still make the tournament easy. So
yeah, no, it's good. It's good for Gonzaga. Obviously, Duke plays in a little bit of a stronger conference, but it's good for Duke too because they got a young team.
Yeah, it'll help them get battle tested, come Sweet 16 or something like that.
Yep.
And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
So this week we got a ground chicken meatball over a kind of like a Thai curry coconut rice.
Okay.
So all cooked up in one pot. So we got you make the meatballs, a little bit of green curry paste, ground chicken, basil, salt, pepper, a little bit of sugar, and what else do I have in there? A little bit of fish sauce. So make those up, fry them in the pot for like 10 minutes. Do a little Dutch oven so you can cover all sides. Throw them in throw them off to the side. Then you start the rice. So you get some garlic in there, some onion, mushroom. Throw a little bit of water in there. Throw the rice in. Then you got the coconut milk that you're tossing in there. Got again some more green curry paste, fish sauce, soy sauce, and then let that get to a boil, and then toss back in the meatballs and let that all simmer together, and then voila, you got a nice one pot meal at the end there. Really flavorful, semi healthy, but really came out well.
Oh, nice. Did you do you like chop up the meatball in there, or you just like eat it? Is it like, how big is the meatball?
I think they're like a couple tablespoons. They're about an ounce and a half or so. But no, I leave them whole. They're easy. Chicken meatballs are pretty tender, so they're easy. They're easy to cut up when they're when you get them in your bowl. But yeah, leave them whole. Let them all cook together, and the flavor really good.
Oh, nice. I feel like you can get some bread in there and start dipping. That'll access at the end.
No, not really, because the rice really soaks up all that juice. You can throw some veg in there too if you want to kind of help, but yeah, the rice really kind of soaks everything up. So I thought the same thing. I thought it would be good with almost like a naan bread or something like that. But there was really no juice left over.
Oh wow, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
And then what would you guys drink that down with?
All right, so with that was we got a new beer from our good friends down the road here at Treehouse. They've had this beer called Sap that's been around for a long time. It's more of like a West Coast type IPA, a little piney. They seem to drop it around Christmas time. It's a nice bright red can. It's actually really good. One of their probably their first 7 or 8 beers that they've made. And I've always enjoyed it. But this year they came out with a little bit of a toned down version called Sapling.
Okay.
So cool little can with a little sapling tree on there. But it's American Pale Ale. Clocks in around, I think, 5.3%, so nice easy drinking, but still has a little bit of that West Coast flavor, which I crave once in a while. Is the just that piney Centennial hopped West Coast beer that pretty much all the IPAs back in the early 2000s all started with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a little toned down version, so you can have a few of them. And yeah, still has that flavor profile. I'd probably throw it around I feel like a 7.4.
Oh, it's a little step down from last week.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, 7.5 is that's a great beer. That's
yeah, still definitely a good beer.
Definitely have to add that to my list.
Oh, for sure.
And that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then for the DRRs this week, still going through some shows. Hannah came out the third season on Thanksgiving. So far, so good. If you like picture Black Widow with a lot more action, that's it. But it's with this secret agency. They train kids to be killers. The main girl, Hannah, who's like the best one of all. They're trying to tear down the organization pretty much through the whole 3 seasons. But I mean, I can't give too much away, but I mean, it's good, man. A lot of action. It's pretty much like Born, picture like Born Supremacy. It was like a type of show.
Okay.
With more violence, but mostly girls. Those are the assassins are pretty much girls, but outside of like the normal SWAT dudes that are guys, she's kicking a lot of ass in that. But I mean, it's interesting, man. Sometimes you get a little frustrated about it because
Sure.
It's like they have some opportunities to kill her. I mean, you killed the main character, season be over. But hey, I get where you're going. But I mean, overall it's a good show, though.
That's the one thing about main characters. Sometimes, like, even when they put themselves into precarious situations, that there's a 99% chance they're going to make it through.
Yeah,
there is,
they,
there are those few choice shows that do kill off main characters, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, because they get caught by the bad guy. The bad guy's talking smack for like an hour. Meanwhile, they're getting this. They're untying their the rope so they can escape.
Oh,
yeah.
You
just shot him right there, it'd have been over. But hey,
yep.
Sometimes bad guys got to get their stuff off. So
yep.
But it's definitely a good show. Check out. Then there's Wheel of Time. Okay, so far. It's only like 4 episodes out. Not to spoil it, but to me, it seems like it's kind of little. It just seems like they're just running without any end game, so to say. When you watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But supposedly, this was like one of the greatest books as far as sci-fi goes, because along those lines of other books like Harry Potter, stuff like that, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So it's along those lines. But I mean, so far it's okay. Only 4 episodes out. Looking forward to seeing what happens with it. And we got the Spider-Man hype. We got like 15 days before Spider-Man comes out, so I know a lot of people are getting excited about that because it's pretty much Spider-Man is pretty much going to kick us off into the next phase of Marvel. So we're going to get combined universes, and I think it's going to help us. It's going to help explain how mutants happen and all this other stuff. And then once we get to that, we get Fantastic Four, X-Men, and stuff like that. So, and those are some people's favorite characters when it comes to Marvel, and some of the strongest. So I mean, you think what we saw from the Avengers was strong. I mean, Thanos was strong. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's stronger villains than Thanos, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And you still got to check out Mayor of Kingstown, man.
Yeah, I do. Just finishing up Manifest. So once I get through that, then I'll put on. I'll get Mayor King. I like to let it run a few episodes. I don't like to get in too early.
Yeah, I think there's only 4 episodes out now.
Right.
I think there's supposed to be another one this week. So I think the last episode 4 came out on the 28th. So that was Sunday? Yeah. So
Yep.
but overall, it's a good show, man. I don't want to spoil it for you, but a lot goes down. It has that Ozark feel to it. Has the guy from well, not the guy from, but I still didn't watch that show either. The Hawkeye, I didn't watch that show yet, but has a guy from Hawkeye. Has a lot of good actors in it.
Yeah, Jeremy
but
Renner.
It's a lot going on. I said I can't give too much away, but definitely a show you want to check out.
Oh yeah, definitely on the list.
It'll keep you satisfied until Ozark comes back next month.
Hey man, I got Yellowstone right now. I still think, pound for pound, probably the best TV show going right now.
I still haven't started the second season yet because I was finished up some other first seasons. I finished up Money Heist first season. So I want to finish up some first season, then I'll get into the second season of the shows. But that's definitely on my list to get through.
Oh yeah, it's the last couple episodes have been a little bit more build up, but I feel like this weekend is there's going to be some explosions. So it's getting good.
Yeah, from what you're telling me, it sounds like a Banshee, but a lot more action. So I'm looking forward to catching up to the final season. Well, not final, but the recent season.
A lot more action and more realistic than Banshee. As much as I love Banshee.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing about Banshee was that the guy who just like took everything, like the big like strong guy, I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I mean, the whole show is based on a guy who fakes his identity and becomes a police officer, a criminal on the run. Like, so you're starting in a weird spot to begin with, and then I know the big guy that you're talking about there. Like, I don't know. It just I don't get me wrong. I loved Banshee, but you got to take it for what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, it was great for its time. So it's one of those like sleeper shows. Or like one of those sometimes people consider a bad good movie or a bad good show.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe they redo it and bring it back in a better light. So then I think that's pretty much it.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.
Until next time, Rich. Get better.
Thanks, man.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.